All right, let's start at the front. Probably the thing that most people hear about the BMW, hopefully you could see it. I'm in the garage because it's a little windy out here today and I don't want all that wind noise. The knobby tires. First off, a lot of people that test ride these for the first time, this bike does not handle like any bike you have ever rode before. Let me just put it out that way. This is not a beginner bike. Uh, Not saying beginners can't ride it. It's just it takes some serious, took me about, I'd say 80, 90, 100 miles before I really felt comfortable on this bike. And here a lot of people think it's because of the knobby tires, and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get rid of those tires. It would be so much better and blah, blah, blah. But nope. After 100 miles, definitely keep the tires. BMW knew what they were doing with these. Uh, they're an awkward handling tire till you kind of get used to them, but once I got used to them, I tear up the corners just like my Buell, maybe doesn't handle as good as the Buell. I don't think anything does, but, I'm on the roads I'd ride on, the secondary Ohio country roads, and, the speed limit on them's 55, and, I'm, taking corners 55, 60, no problem with this bike. Like I said, yeah, there is a learning curve with these tires, but I would definitely get the tires if you bought this bike. Like I said, it's a little learning curve, but just deal with it. Life, you'll get over it in a little bit. I would also go with the spoked rims. Luckily, this bike I bought had like every option on earth that they have for it. I would go with the spoked rims over the cast rims uh, because they're a lot stronger. I've heard one guy say that he actually bent the cast rim, and but these are a lot stronger supposedly, and also they're tubeless since the pins or whatever you call them are on the outside there. So, if you get a flat, you can just fix it right on the side of the road without tearing the tire apart. So I would definitely go with the knobby tires. The learning curve's there. Yeah, big deal. Just get over it. What I immediately did when I bought this bike is, you can't see it on this video here, but I swapped out the H4 halogen with a H4 LED light. I am a big proponent of putting LED lights on bikes. That H4 LED, you can get them on eBay for under $20. It's a cheap upgrade. You do have to get the error-free CAN bus ones, or you'll get an error code on the bike saying that your headlight blew out. The LED, I'm convinced that cars can see it a lot better than the halogen. If you ever put one side by side, the LED is a bright white light where the halogen's like a sickly yellow colored. So for a couple bucks, man, it's a really good upgrade. I would go with that. The handlebars on this bike, uh, I mean, I like them, but I feel like I'm a little bit far forward for an adventure bike. It's more kind of almost a cafe racer feel. Not that the Buell I was a little bit forward, but it's not a deal breaker. Standing up on the pegs, it's kind of a little awkward standing up on the pegs, but I bought this bike to go down dirt roads and a couple fire trails. I didn't buy this to do the Dakar on or something crazy like that. It's strictly, where the pavement ends, just to keep on going, find good camping spots, stuff like that. Good, nice little adventure bike. I'd say 95% of my riding is going to be on the road. So, that's, you got to look at that, 5% off the road. And I know a lot of people, oh, this is not a dirt bike, you got to get the GS, blah, blah, blah. No, you can do pretty much anything you can do with a GS on this one. Uh, this bike came with the traction control, ABS, and the heated grips. I would definitely get the heated grips. Those are nice, man, especially, on these cold days that I ride up here in Ohio. Going around the bike, first thing I put on there, since the engine kind of sticks out there, is I put a set of Puig, I don't know how you pronounce it, P-U-I-G, Puig, engine crash bars or whatever you call them. I bought them at RevZilla for around 250 bucks. It's definitely a two-man job to put those on. No, not going to do it with one man. No way, man, unless you're an octopus or something. But it's not hard to put on. It took me about 2 hours, and that's because my wife was helping me. If I had another man, probably would take a little bit less. But, with her, she helped, but, she just didn't have the strength of a man to help me do it. It's only 3 bolts hold it on. It's real easy to put on. But, definitely you want to get engine protection on this, especially if you're going to take it off-road. You know you're going to end up on the side sooner or later. I noticed it seems like every option that you can get for this bike's $250. You know, if you want to get the hand guards, that's $250. Everything's $250. My next thing will be a guess what, $250 bash plate for under the engine, and that's coming up real soon. The bike aesthetically is beautiful. I mean, it's just an unbelievably beautiful bike. Going around the side here, the seat, surprisingly, I think is very comfortable. I mean, I've done all-day rides on it so far and had a really enjoyable rides. Never, felt butt numb or anything like that. But I tend to stop quite a bit, so I'm on and off the bike a lot. I like to jump out, take pictures, and walk around and look at things. So it's not like I did an iron bar ride on it, but all day, on the bike, and it was fine for me. The rear shock, it's adjustable, and I'm still playing with it. I still got some adjustment on it. I think it's still a little stiff for me. It was very stiff when I got it, and they give you a couple spanner tools, and it's just a matter of loosening it up and using the spanner. It's not that hard, but I think I'm going to loosen it up a little bit more. I just still think it's just a bit tight. Another thing that I did on this bike, another upgrade I did pretty quick, was this. Put a couple dongles on it. This one is for the battery tender. This one is for heated gear. And again, in Ohio, it gets a little chilly around here, so heated gear is a necessity. It was really simple. You just pop the seat off, which is simple to do, and then right under the seat right here, there's a couple battery posts, the positive battery post, and then there's a screw next to it that you could use as ground. So it's a real simple upgrade. This has nothing to do with the CAN bus, so I mean, you don't have to worry about CAN bus issues with this. It's just directly to the battery. Well worth the half hour it takes to do that job. Other than that, on this side, seriously considering getting some hard panniers for it. I've seen some online. I think it was England or something, sell some. I don't know, man. This bike is so beautiful, but one of the downsides of it is not a lot of places to put storage. Now, they do have a couple little things under the seat where you can strap stuff down. So this weekend I'm going to go on a camping trip, and somehow I'm going to put a tent and camping gear all on the back seat. So we'll see how that works out. Coming around the back, love the exhaust. Those are those Akrapovic, or however the heck you pronounce it, Akrapovic exhaust. Love the sound that comes out of it. Not too loud, not too soft. Just a sweet purr comes out of that. Love it. And other than that, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of things I wanted to talk about. But things I don't like about it, probably the foot pegs. When you stop at a light, they kind of hit right about where your legs want to land, so you got to kind of kick your feet out in front of them. So that's kind of like a little bit of a downer on the bike. Back pegs. My wife rode on the back of the bike. She doesn't like it. She's spoiled. She's been on the back of the Heritage with that big fat back seat and big fat backrest and sissy bar, so she didn't like the idea of kind of hanging on for dear life, on the back of this one. So, not going to be a bike that my wife's probably going to ride with me a lot on. So, oh well. So I'll probably go with the panniers, because once you put those panniers on, then those rear pegs are not useless. You're not going to be able to put a person on the back. Other than that, love the bike, man. Like I said, 9.5 out of 10. What would make it a 10? Oh, maybe if the handlebars were a little higher and a little wider, maybe. That'd be nice. If the tail section was a little bit more sturdy, I guess you could put a back rack on it. Thinking of doing that. Give me a little bit more storage. But for what I bought it for and what I intend to use it for, I think it's perfect. Power, it's 110 horsepower. Gobs and gobs of torque on it. This bike gets up and goes. I mean, you can kind of lollygag around on it and be in sixth gear at about 50 miles an hour. I mean, you can wind that sucker out and go like bat out of hell on it too. It just depends what you want to do. Oh yeah, looking at the gas tank, runs on regular. That's nice because my Harleys, they all run on, there's the Harleys over there, they all run on premium. And sometimes you got to pay a premium to buy premium, but this baby here runs on regular. And actually the book tells you that if you put premium in, you'll get worse gas mileage, so go figure. So anyway, regular's fine with me. And it's a, what is it, 4.5 gallon tank or so. So I get up to about 160, 170, and it starts giving me a warning that I need fuel. So, So, bike like this, it's not something that you're probably going to go touring the country on. I mean, you can, but, at my age too, I'm very rarely on the bike more than 100 miles at a pop anyway. The old bladder needs a little bit of attention after about an hour and a half, 2 hours anyway. And like I said, I like to jump off, take pictures, walk around, see things. I know some of you racy guys that are in this big racing life, I'm way past racing. My life's not a race anymore. It's more of a stroll, So, I putz along and see things I like, talk to people. I mean, that's what I'm into. That's what I like with biking, motorcycling, being a biker. Anyway, if you got any questions, feel free to give me the questions. Don't forget to hit that like button, and you could subscribe. Not that I put out a lot of videos, but every now and then I might put something that you might be interested in. Anyway, this is Easy Rider, man, signing out. You all have a good day, and like I said, it's a heck of a bike, man.